Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we finally got the release announcement of Alchemical Revolution Set Design Notes Part 1. So there will be a second part. We don't know when, but right now Part 1 is finally released, and now that Gabri is updated, took me a little bit, we're going to go through the notes together, live reaction, because I didn't even read it all. I literally just went through this, pulled a whole bunch of the images, just so I can upload it to the website. That's updated, link in the description for the Gabri spoiler page. But like I said, let's get right into this. We'll go ahead and read pretty much together. So, coming release of ALC, the three new classes, Guardian and Grand Archive, Guardian, Cleric, and Ranger. Also, I will note ahead of time, I'm not going to edit this really too much, so any mess ups, have fun. In this article, we'll go over design principles and goals intended for these classes during their creation, as well as show off a lot of spoilers. So, Guardian. Guardian's class focused on field presence. The first thing someone may associate with Guardian is its role as a protector. Makes sense. Guardian-based strategies should excel at defending their own field, and some cards should reward them for doing so. The board control focused strategies should increase the complexities of Grand Archive's combat system in a healthy and interactive way. So, on an download journey, the main guy I'm going to be playing, Tenoris. Gracious Tenoris. So, we have Lone Mercenary. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit here. So Lone Mercenary, so level 1 comes in on enter, gains taunt. So okay, so it makes sense because your champion's going to gain taunt. Goes to protecting his fields, protecting his allies, as a protector. So everyone has to attack him for that turn. So it makes sense. You have to be a little careful when you play it. I like it. And then level 2 is the Might of Humanity. He has a lineage, of course. And then on enter, his attack, this next attack this turn gains +3. Okay, so we have a little bit of mix of Lorraine with the warrior style, but I did notice, as we have had confirmed, 25 HP. Let's go. A little bit tankier. And as you saw with level 3 in the starter deck, is 30 HP. So definitely our little tanky boy. Meet Tenoris, the premier Guardian champion of Alchemical Revolution. When you start to see how his presence affects the field as he levels up. With his level 1, his allies are protected from being targeted by attacks, allowing safe deployment of his allies. His level 2, on the other hand, enables big swings to get rid of large threats. Okay. So when the champion of the warrior class, Guardian Champion's awake state is very valuable to the player because Guardians excel at defense. Players must choose whether to rest and attack with their champion or leave them awake to taunt and protect their allies. Alright, we got a couple new swords. So we do have Bullock Sword, which is 0 cost. Okay, Guardian Sword. Class bonus gets +1, so looking here, it's going to be 3 attack with 2 durability. There's an additional cost for this weapon. Wait, you may, as an additional cost to use this weapon for an attack, pay 2. Alright, so we just have to pay 2. Okay, so that makes sense. I'll say it's a pretty big sword for a lot of value for pretty much nothing, but this makes a lot more sense. It looks like this comes in the starter deck. As you can sort of see here is SD, as well as this card here. The 6 cost heavy swing that we had spoiled before. Attack Guardian Sword. Class bonus this card costs us to activate. So 4 cost, swing 6. Okay. Yeah, Guardians have very big attacks at higher cost compared to other attacking based classes. Players will quickly find that attacking with a Guardian champ will leave them lower than usual on resources. Might prevent them from being as reactive to incoming threats in the following turn. Makes a lot of sense. So, like I said, back to what they were speaking about before up here about choosing whether to attack or leave mana open and staying awake for the taunt. Master's Defense. So, another starter deck card, Take Point. This is a, Guardian skill. The champion gains taunt until the beginning of your next turn. Alright, slow and gains the floating bending cast bonus. Okay, so another chance of taunting. Martial Guard 2 cost. The next time the target unit will be dealt damage this turn. Prevent 2 of that damage. Class bonus level 2 floating memory. Alright. I mean, it's no resolute stand. It's alright for little small attacks, but I don't know if you're gonna be running this as much. Like the floating memory is nice, but I feel like here I'd rather just run a resolute stand and prevent 3 flat out on attack. But this does prevent 2 of any damage, which might run it, but I don't know. And Armored Valkyrie Wind, we do have an Ally Guardian Automaton. Let's go, starting automatons. Steadfast. This ally can retaliate while rested and doesn't rest to do so. Okay. So it can retaliate, and then class bonus, as long as Armored Valkyrie is retaliating, it's +2 attack. Similar to, I think, Interpret Highwayman, where it gets extra bonus extra damage when it's retaliating. The Guardian class excels at protecting actions and redirecting opposing attacks to a more favorable target you control. Again, makes sense. In addition, some Guardian allies features new keyword Steadfast, which allows those allies to be a threat even while rested. So this also makes sense that Lurking Assailant level 1 is technically a Steadfast ability. It's not actually Steadfast, but... And then we have something worth protecting. On the other hand, we have Imperial Recruit, Ally Guardian Foster. At the beginning of your recollection phase, if this ally has been dealt damage since the end of your previous turn, it becomes fostered. Imperial Recruit gets +1 as long as it's fostered. Okay, so it could become a 2/3 when attacks if it hasn't been dealt any damage. And then in Wind, we have a 3-cost Wind, class bonus Foster as well. On Foster, so, okay. So every time this becomes Foster, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may reveal an ally card among them and put it into your hand and put the rest in the bottom of any order. Alrighty. I can get behind this. I like cheating looking mechanics. It is very, very useful. Sorry about that. So new Foster keyword introduces a new permanent state an ally can be in, which never mind. So I don't know. We have to get a ruling. Like the way I read this, that Foster happens every turn. Or if Foster is a static state. Because here it says new keyword Foster introduces a new permanent state which ally can be in, which satisfies ally be protected. Beginning of your record change ally Foster and take damage becomes fostered. Okay. Allies can't become Foster more once. Should have read a little bit lower. Would have made a lot more sense. And Foster allies may receive bonus stats or special ability, which we see here, which makes a lot more sense. And here's Lineage 3 Cam's favorite section. Cleric. The goal with Cleric class to make special magic spells similar to Mage class, but with a deeper focus on interaction. Makes sense. More defensive spells and preventive effects, so it's going to be really good. Protective spells not really too good at attacking. This method's going to be more roundabout compared to other classes, so it might be a little bit harder to pilot, I want to say, is what I'm taking from this. In addition, connects on many rewarding mechanics that focus on your memory zone, which can be an unusual concept to many players coming from other TCGs. Yeah, so high skill. So on enter twice, you get to gather twice, which we'll go over here below what the gather is. 19 health makes sense because this is also sort of like a mage class. Then also has a lineage on enter gather twice again. And the inherit effect at the beginning of your end phase, you may sacrifice 2 herbs with the same name if you do draw a card. Okay, so if we have more ways to gather, it could help refill some hands. So we get to gather. So we have the Blight Root, 1 cost. Doesn't say if you still I have to read a little bit below if we have to find it out before. But I do like how the dice number is on this. They'll let you pick because it is at random. So if you roll 6, you get Springleaf. 2, you get this. 1, you get this. So it makes sense overall. So Blight Root. Sacrifice Blight Root. Your champion gets +1 level. Sacrifice, you get now +1 level. Sacrifice Silver Shine, you get Recover 1. Freysa, sacrifice Recover 1. And these two as well the same. Put a card from your hand at the bottom of your deck if you do draw a card. I'm not sure what these icons are going to mean yet, so I'm really interested to see if these icons mean something later on as well. So you can mark these 6 faces to help determine which one is going to be in a role. Each serves as small effects that can be sacrificed individually, but they also have extra implications for the next topic, Cleric Potions. Okay, so it's getting some potions. Brewing Potions. We have the 3-cost potion of healing, brew, 2 herbs, so you may sacrifice a list of objects rather than pay skull cost. And it's a sacrifice potion, recover 5. Okay, so sacrifice 2 your herbs, recover 5 is a pretty strong ability. And Essence of Blizzard's water, brew 1 adjuvant, which is 1 catalyst. Oh, okay. It's catalyst and adjuvant is the subclass types. Makes sense. Sacrifice Essence of Blizzard, deal 1 damage to target unit. If the unit is rested, deal 1 plus level damage to it instead. Oh. So if we have a way to really gain levels, this could be like a water fireball. Okay. Well, also, wait a minute. I don't even have to be a cleric. I could play this in like Water Merlin and become a fireball itself because I only have to sacrifice to pay the card's reserve cost. But I don't need to be a cleric to use this. Okay. I see. We're trying to prop up water a little bit more. I'm for it. I'm for it. Let's keep it going. Potion cards have an alternative cost via the brew mechanic, which allows players to sacrifice certain ingredients, specify a name or subtypes, and order to activate. Yep, I'll pay reserve cost. Exactly what we were reading before. And then we go ahead and have potions can be sacrificed the fact anytime we're on the field, just like Regalia. And then ingredients created via the GAB with sometimes a great deal of flexibility. And saving potions for later. Okay. So potion of infusion, frostbite. So you get to infuse the potion for an action, fast speed. Rest target potion. If you do, it gains on sacrifice rest target unit. The next time that unit would take damage from a water element source this turn, takes that much damage plus 4. Okay, so trying to incentivize something like this isn't really going to be used for it's not going to be used for going to face, but rather than potion to kill big stuff like maybe Majestic Spirit. And then we have Wild Growth Elixir for Wind, brew 2 herbs. At the beginning of your recollection phase, put an age counter on Wild Growth Elixir. Okay, so we get more counters. And sacrifice, put X buff counters on target ally, where X is the amount of age counters on Wild Growth Elixir. So get to bump your allies, get to bump a couple of things for just letting this tick up overall. Because this can get pretty big really quickly, because at the beginning of every recollection, you get an age counter. So this can stack really big to make some win finishers. So in order to make potions more interesting than the object subject, not just to glorify delay spells, but it can be incentivized to keep the potions around for longer. With these, I'm going to use so cleric spell argument potions on the field even further, providing strong effects, but are dependent on having potion already on the field. Because each of these potions enchantment spells require the rest of the potion it's targeting, using multiple will also require multiple potions on the field. In addition, certain potions get better as they age, further incentivizing the cleric player to brew their potions early. You can okay. Oh, so you can stack these. Oh man, I feel sorry for judges. I feel sorry for judges. You get to stack like these potion infusions as far as I can tell. Sorry, Marilyn Simp. It's going to be Dream Fairy all over again. Memory manipulation. Memory manipulation means class, you get class balance. Yep, so I'm going to balance as you get to recover 2. Okay. For item, that's good to stick around. That's the beginning of my recollection phase, though. Then pay 2, return a card from your memory to your hand. Okay, so we get the bounce cards. This is sort of what we had spoiled early on during the early design notes. A cleric, they're finally into putting it through. Cleric has a water, 2 cost spell, stream of consciousness, class bonus, memory +4, glimpse 3. Applies this effect only if your champion matches a class of this card's class, and only if there are 4 more cards in your memory. So you get the glimpse 3 if you have 4 cards in your memory, and then you also get to draw a card in your memory off the card's effect. Cleric is going to be drawing a lot of cards. Cleric is going to be the water champion, probably. Fanatical Devotee, we saw this yesterday in the Discord. As a memory +4, it gets +1 attack, and then on death, you may banish 2 other fire elemental cards from your graveyard. When you do, deal 3 to target champion. So a little bit of extra burn damage as well. And look at the cute little kitty. Kitty. Arriving card kits are cards that reward the player for having their memory zone set up in specific ways. For example, Stream of Consciousness and Fanatical Devotee both get benefits from the controller having 4 or more cards in their memory. In addition, several cleric class have activated abilities with reserve cost. Reserve cost? Yeah. Allowing further degree of memory management. Ranger. So the class that everyone else seems to be excited for in the world. So it's inspiration of how units type and MOBA and RTS types can kite. Makes sense for Ranger. Also, specialized customization should lead to very tactical feel. We have Diana, Keen Huntress, level 1. Lineage release. Materialize a gun card from your material deck. Activates ability by banishing this card from your champion's inner lineage. Okay, so you can't de-level to it. Talented Archer in the past life. 19. Makes sense. We'll talk about a glass cannon class. So 19 health and 22 health makes sense. Then 20, level 2 lineage. On enter material is a bullet card from your material deck. You still pay its cost. Right, so we're going to see what bullets are, I assume, shortly. In range 2, whatever range is going to do. Diana during the class champion uses guns as the first subtype in archive. She has a new game rule behind it. Before this, only subtypes and types change how cards function. But level 1 doesn't do anything meaningful until level 2. We build a lineage release that champion card to create a burst of tempo utilizing guns and bullet together. So it looks like it's like almost a combo as well in a sense. Lock and load. So we have Zilkos Seeker's Rifle, class bonus True Sight, and then class bonus Spell Shroud. Okay, so we get Spell Shroud and True Sight. And then on kill, so it makes sense if I'm trying to make something elusive in a sense. On kill, you may pay 2 if you do materialize a bullet card from your material deck. So we pay 2. This is a 1/2. If you kill it, you can materialize a bullet. For example, plated bullet, 0 cost, renewable. If this card would be banished from your field or so this card be banished from the field or an intent, put it into an owner's material deck instead. Tap it, load a plated bullet into target gun, load plated bullet into target unloaded gun weapon you control. As a weapon is used for an attack, all of its loaded cards are put into an attacker's intent. Okay. Guns are a type of weapon that must be loaded in order for it to be used for an attack. As an additional restriction, attack cards cannot be used in conjunction with gun weapons. Oh, thank God. Like, I could just imagine something bonkers happening with like loading this and then flame sweeping or rending flame. Like, oh, a lot of damage. Whenever going to use for attack, all of its loaded cards are transferred to the attacker's intent, where that card's stats and abilities are considered for the combat phase. Bullet is also a new subtype that has unique rules to it, such as bullets have a power stat, where other items don't. Bullets can be loaded into guns and shot. The bullet is a regalia. It may have the renewable keyword, which sends the card back into the material deck if it ever enters the banishment from intent or field. Looks like we have some allies here. With Imperial Rifleman, 3 cost normal, range 2. As long as the unit is distant, attacks get 2. I guess you have to find out what distant is. We're going to find it shortly. Class once enter Imperial Rifleman becomes distant. Units stay distant until the end of their controller's turn. Apply this effect only if your champion's class matches the card's class. Okay, but what is distant? Hopefully we get this later on, because we have a 2-drop fire, 1-2. Class 1 is range 2. As long as the unit is distant, it gains +2 attack. So it sort of goes to what the range effect here is. If this is distant, it gets +2 attack. And on to if you control a distant unit, draw a card in your memory. So fire stick down theme, getting the draw cards. And 1 cost evasive maneuvers. Prevent the next 2 damage that will be dealt to target unit this turn. If that unit is a ranger, it becomes distant. Units stay distant until the end of their control's turn. Okay, but what is distant? What is distant? The ranger class also has a new state. Both allies and champions can be called distant. Distant units always stay distant until the end of their control's turn. Yes, I know this, but what is distant? Many cards in range class can make a unit distant, are usually paired with other effects such as damage prevention, as seen in evasive maneuver. Yeah, makes sense. Many ranger units have Ranger X keyword, which gives units attack X power as long as they're distant. Okay. Pair keywords work in hand to incentivize players to interact on the opponent's turn and reward them with increasing damage output from their units during their own following turn. Alright, so like Ranger already feels like it's going to be the next Lorraine. Like Ranger feels like it's going to be the thing they'll play, and it's going to be absurdly strong. But we'll see. I mean, Guardian might get around it, but it's going to be very high burst damage. It's going to incentivize speeding up a little bit, I think. Fast reload. So we have rapid reload, wind. Class 1 is efficiency. It's already a 3. The material is a bullet card from your material deck, so get to cheat in bullets. Supply drone 3 normal. Class bonus at beginning of a recollection phase. Materialize a bullet card, memory cost 0 from your material deck. Then we have a 2 cost freezing round water. Load freeze round, target unloaded gun weapon you control. On champion hit, that player banishes the card random. So this is like a chilling touch effect with a floating memory. Yeah, so basically chilling touch on a bullet. While guns take a little while longer to set up in order to be used for an attack, the range class also specializes in extra materialization, especially ammunition-based regalia cards. There are also non-regalia cards that can be activated normally and loaded into guns, bypassing the materialize during players' vulnerable materialization phases. Conclusion. That concludes the introduction of the Guardian, Cleric, and Ranger classes. We hope players are now informed about how each of the upcoming classes plays, and we're excited for the upcoming release of Alchemical Revolution on January 26th. To get closer to release, we will be releasing another set of design notes which cover the new advanced elements, Astra, Umbra, and Neos. Okay, so that makes sense. We're going to see more of the advanced elements later on. And then we have upcoming spoilers. So it looks like a couple days of Red Zone Rogue, main deck games, TCG, Storm Tyrant Guys, which is the new one that made by Leo and crew, Pranks TCG, Creative Shock, Valkyrie Loaf, Floating Memory Podcast, Lineage Break, Bayfall, Solar Games, TM32, Tomio CH, Adomadia, and TT Plays. So that is sort of everything, guys. Roughly going over it again. I mean, I'm excited for Guardian. Guardian's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really slow to play. So I hope it works out in my favor. Like, all these look really strong. I'm not going to lie. Like, on paper, with what little we know, these all look really good. Really fresh mechanics. For a lot of people that burned out in DOA, this is going to be an FTC. This is going to be a really good introduction to get people into. People are really going to, I think, enjoy this, especially the way Guardian prevents damage. They have Cleric incentivizing a little bit slower play, a little bit more of a control, and utilizing these token cards with the herbs and then comboing them with potions to get some strong effects to close it out. And then Ranger is going to be a really combo-y storm. Man, I really didn't plan on playing Ranger, but I might be playing Ranger. This is my style, but so is Guardian. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys again for tuning in. Like I said, all these spoilers are going to be up on Gaberary. Link is in the description. And I hope everyone has a good one. Peace.